Guys, our moi-moi is ready. As you can see, it's hot out of the oven. This is how it is looking at this stage. So whether you're a vegan or non-vegan, feel free to enjoy this dish with your jollof rice, your white boiled rice with stew, or you can even take it along with some drinking garri and have a very wonderful experience. I guarantee this recipe is spectacular. Hello everyone and welcome back to Paint Varieties channel. On today's episode, what we are going to make is a vegan moi-moi recipe, and guys, this is a requested video. Here are the basic ingredients that I'm going to use for this recipe, and as you can see in this bowl, what I have here is my beans, and I've already peeled the beans. And for this recipe, we'll be using only 3 cups of beans. I'll be leaving the link of my akara recipe in the description box below. If you don't know how to peel your beans, in that recipe I showed how to peel your beans very well. Or right now on your screen you can see the eye icon that is going to drop right now, so please click it and watch how you can wash your beans very well. Here are the other ingredients I'll be using. What I have here is my chili pepper, the green chili pepper, and this is the serrano chili. And here is my ginger and my cube. Use any cube of your choice, any vegan cube of your choice. I have some onions and some garlic. Here is my bell pepper. So if you don't like bell peppers, you can substitute the bell pepper for tin tomatoes. So during the preparation process, you will see how the bell pepper will be used. And here are my vegetables for my garnishing. This will be used at the last stage of the food preparation. Here I have some parsley, guys. Parsley is going to introduce a unique flavor. So here I have some combinations of spices. I have my dry basil, my oregano, my onion powder, paprika, and some curry powder. I have my salt and I have my egg. I have a combination of red oil and vegetable oil, but you can feel free to use either of the oils. And so these are the ingredients. So we'll go ahead and combine these ingredients. So we are ready to go over to the next step, and for the next step, as you can see, I have already chopped my bell peppers and placed them in the blender so that it can be blendable. So remember, I told you I was going to use a combination of vegetable oil and palm oil for the recipe. I will go ahead and toss in some vegetable oil right now in the blender because I don't want to use water to blend these ingredients. If you're using water to blend the ingredients, it means you have to cook it for 10 minutes before you introduce it, in the stew. So what I will do is to add my vegetable oil. So this will help prevent me from adding water in my blender. If you're using food processor, you don't need to use vegetable oil at this stage. Add the remaining ingredients I introduced earlier on: the onions, the peppers, garlic, and then the nut cube. As the blending process is done, what I'm going to do is to slice and prepare the bell peppers for the garnishing process, and then set it aside until it is required. Chop all the vegetables that you can see at the surface here, including my onions. My pot is perfectly heated. Tossing some palm oil in the pot. I'm not going to add vegetable oil, guys. Remember, I have already added some quantity of vegetable oil during the blending process. My oil is heated. Tossing some of the spices so that the spices can begin to release their flavor into the oil. Just bring out some of the oil from my plate because I'm going to use it and brush my pan. Alright guys, the flavors from the pot is really intensified at this stage. In the blended bell peppers and those things that we tossed into the blender. Cover my pot and cook this for 10 good minutes. And remember to stir it during the cooking process. Later, guys, and I'm back to check my pot. As you can see, the sauce is perfectly fried. I have been frying this sauce on medium heat. You can notice oil has surfaced at the surface of the sauce. This is an indication that this sauce is perfectly intensified. That means if you toss this sauce inside your moi-moi, you're going to overeat. I guarantee you that. I'll add first is the parsley. So I've just added a little bit of salt. When you're making moi-moi, you have to be very careful with your salt addition. So when we complete the combining process, then we'll go ahead and add another salt later. 5 minutes later, guys, and finally the sauce preparation is ready. So as you can see, it looks absolutely and incredibly beautiful, as you can see. So in just 10 to 15 minutes preparation process, everything is ready. So we'll just keep it out here. You're going to leave this pot open and allow this to completely get cold. I mean, let this sauce get very cold. Over to the next step, we will begin blending the beans, which has been soaking for about 4 to 6 hours. I'll transfer it into the same blender that I used to blend the peppers. I'll be blending the beans in 2 stages because the blender is not going to take in the whole 3 cups of beans. And I have 2 eggs. I'm going to crack in 1 egg in each of the blending process. The egg is going to enable your beans to come out very smooth and allow air to penetrate in the beans, and then the texture of the beans will be very smooth and very nice. If you're a strict vegetarian or a strict vegan, all you have to do is to skip the egg. Don't use egg if you don't want to use it. It's not too important to use the egg since you have soaked the beans for a long period of time. So this is the second one. So the blending process is done. This is how beautiful the beans is looking. So you should use a very good blender to blend your beans so that you don't have rough particles of beans in your moi-moi. And because we use egg to blend it, it's looking very fluffy and very nice. And so this is the consistency you should be targeting, not too thick and not too watery. See? What we are going to do now is to begin to add all the vegetables. Remember, I told you I was going to add these vegetables for garnishing and for crunch. It's very essential in this type of recipe because as you can see, this is a very smooth type of cake. So when you add in the vegetables, it helps build the background and base of your moi-moi. Then I'll add the fresh parsley. This is exactly the fun stage of making moi-moi, where you get to add everything. And guys, can you see how our sauce is looking? I mean, just take a good look at this sauce. Can you see the oil? Yes. And when you taste this sauce, oh my god, odoto. Ibano. We're going to incorporate everything and see how it's going to combine effectively. Oh my goodness, the aroma, the aroma of this moi-moi. Oh Jehovah. So we are going to taste for salt because salt is the last ingredient to add. I'm going to toss in some salt. Please, when you're making moi-moi, be very careful with salt. Salt can be very deceptive, you know, so please be very careful. So we taste again for salt. I'll go ahead and add in just a very little salt. So I just turned my oven on to begin preheating, so that by the time we pour this thing inside the bowl, the oven must have heated enough, you know. So you can either use the baking method or you use the boiling method. So I'm going to illustrate both methods to you, just in case you don't have the oven. So the moi-moi is perfect, the salt content is perfect at this stage. I have finished brushing all my oven bowls with the oil. I will go ahead and re-stir the moi-moi once again before I begin to scoop it inside the plate. So please make sure you mix it very well before you begin to scoop it. Just go ahead and tap it. So you tap it and then place it in the bowl. I will continue doing that until I have filled all the bowls with moi-moi. So guys, as you can see, I have completely poured all my moi-moi inside my oven plate, and this is what our moi-moi is looking, guys. Just take a good look at this moi-moi. Can you see how beautiful it is? Yes, this is a wonderful Christmas on your dining table. Put it inside the oven and then bake. But before we toss it into the oven, I will go ahead and pour in some quantity of water inside my baking bowl. Now I'm going to foil it. So for the second method of preparation, I have my bowls ready. I'll just scoop in the beans inside the bowl and then transfer it to the pot. So feel free to use any bowl of your choice that can retain heat during the cooking process. That's all that is required. So this step is in case you don't want to use the oven method. So I'll go ahead and add some little quantity of water in the pot to form the base, and then just drop in some foils at the base of the pot. Also use some sticks, any kind of stick of your choice. That's what we used while we were back in Nigeria. Secure the base of the pot, and as the cooking process takes place, you can also add little quantity of water at the base just to secure the steam. Then you gradually lift your moi-moi inside your plate. So I've turned my heat to medium. So I'll just cover my pot and allow this to cook for 40 to 45 minutes, or until you also insert a toothpick inside and it comes out clean. And so guys, that is it. The water level has gone down, it's almost completely dried. I'll just toss in some water. I'll try and poke it and see if it is ready. It's still not completely ready. I'll allow it to keep cooking. I want to check the moi-moi we have in the oven. This oven is raging with anger. So it's still not completely ready. I will allow it. Guys, after a period of 45 minutes to 50 minutes, finally guys, our moi-moi is ready. As you can see, it's hot out of the oven. This is how it is looking at this stage. So whether you're a vegan or non-vegan, feel free to enjoy this dish with your jollof rice, your white boiled rice with stew, or you can even take it along with some drinking garri and have a very wonderful experience. I guarantee this recipe is spectacular. I mean, it's absolutely spectacular. I mean, it's tasty and delicious. Guys, all the to moi-moi adoto. So here we have our oven baked, and here we have the boiled one. tastes absolutely and incredibly delicious. Tell me that your appetite is not piping at this point in time. Do you see that? Just take a good look at this, guys. This is perfection. In celebration of the Christmas season, this is what I present to you vegans who would like to have a beautiful experience. Thank you so much for joining me in today's episode. Don't forget to invite your friends, guys. Please invite your friends. Advertise this platform. Tell them to come over because something wonderful is about to go down. Thank you, guys.